And welcome to GFB Message by Katrina or Kat on Happiness with God. I am first going to share with you Proverbs 3 verses 1 to 8. My son, do not forget my teaching, but keep my commands in your heart, for they will prolong your life many years and bring you peace and prosperity. Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on your tablet of your heart. Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones. A close relationship with the Lord is the only way to real happiness. Circumstances will not always be perfect, no matter who you are. God is the answer to a lot of questions people face. Whether we realize it or not, we need those answers. Why did this awful thing happen? How can I move on? What is the point to this? What do I do now? Who am I? When I was about 12, I lost my memory because of a bad seizure. I had woken up from a coma, not knowing my name or anything from my life before. I had gotten very close to dying a few times. It was tough, and it made me question, why? Why did God save my life if it was going to be this tough? Nothing seemed to be right. Why save my life if I was going to have such a depressing time afterwards? The question, why, or the why questions, many adults question, but aren't as common for kids. But I ended up surviving or getting through in part because of a message I felt I received from God. That I had a purpose and that he was going to use me. And I do believe that still. But my naive child self filled in the blank with the specifics of that message, which is where the problem came. Eventually, because I thought for sure God called me to be a pastor. And since I got very sick again, within a year of my plan of going to seminary, I was pretty frustrated, as it seemed more and more like getting better wasn't going to happen very fast, and my plan had to change. I had a plan, and you have a plan, and God has a plan. Do we really think ours is better? We may not know what his plan is, but we can trust that it is better. There is a song I like that I would suggest you listen to called Glorious Unfolding by Stephen Curtis Chapman. And in it he says, "As I know this is not anything you thought life was going to be, and it feels like the end is starting closing in on you. But it's just not true. There's so much of the story that is still yet to unfold. It's going to be a glorious unfolding." For years, although I still love the Lord, I didn't like life very much. I was a believer, yes, but my relationship with the Lord needed to grow. Not that I was miserable, but joy was missing. I was surviving most days. I am certain the life I am living now is a very different path than I had in mind when I was younger. A home business really didn't fit me. Not really. I couldn't have guessed this path if I had had 20 clues. But it is where I am. And now that I'm not wishing for the path to be something it isn't, I can enjoy this one. I didn't get what I thought I wanted, but maybe there are plenty of lessons and plenty to gain on this one, if I just let myself stop fighting it. So, from God's perspective, the message, "Since when does anyone know what they want?" was finally seen. Why do we think our plan is better than our Creator's? I don't know the answer of why this awful thing happened, but I see that in some situations God uses it for good. But sometimes the understanding isn't going to happen here. The why is for God's glory. From John 14, verse 1. Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. I am not claiming that life is perfect if you follow God. I think most of us know that that is far from the case. I am claiming that if we continue to believe that we have a better plan for us than God's, then we can never truly be happy. And again, I read to you from Proverbs 3, verses 5 to 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. We all have troubles. It was definitely not fun when shortly after taking in the infant Abby as a foster child that we had hoped to adopt, we had to give her back. It was even harder when we had to give back Dominic. But in both cases, I had improved in my faith that there was a path for me that was right with God. Way more than earlier in life. And I would rate saying goodbye to Dominic almost as painful as losing my memory. But I was very different, and my reaction was nowhere near as screwed up. The devil wants us to focus on the problem. The Lord wants us to focus on him. That is the process we all need to try. I think a lot of us have heard on K-Love mention numerous times the 30-day challenge. The challenge being to listen to nothing but Christian music for 30 days and discover how it changes your life. They suspect it will make a positive difference in your life. Christian music is powerful in helping a person grow closer to God. And even if not one single circumstance in your life changes, you change. And thus, the perspective is different. No longer is it all about what happens to us. The loving relationship with the one inside you is what gets you through. So, how do we get our happiness from God? And what do we do now? I suggest the song by Sidewalk Prophets. Help me find it. I'm done fighting. I'm finally letting go. I will trust in you. You've never failed before. I will trust in you. These are some good words. So let go. I don't think that is easy. We all need to work at it every day. And today has been specifically challenging for me. But when we stop having to solve everything ourselves and instead follow the path there for us, the stress can go way down. And we can see better the path that the Lord has for us, which, if we trust in him, we know it is for the best. So falling in love with Jesus brings the change. There is a song by the Newsboys, I Want to Live with Abandon. It speaks of a higher calling that I missed. I want my life to count, every breath. I want to live with abandon. Give you all that I am. Every part of my heart, Jesus, I place in your hands. I'll drop everything to follow you. It's only your hands I hold on to. And it also has the line, chasing after this world makes me tired. Praising my own name leaves me dry. If we remain stuck in the rules of this world and try to fit in here, we can do everything right and still not get the rewards. The rewards of this world are empty, and they will never be enough. We need to look at how to be whole. We are all broken people, but only God can make us complete. We are free if we live with the loving relationship with God. The rocks tied to our feet of sin can be let go. So see our Lord's perspective. From John 15, verses 9 to 13. As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Now remain in my love. If you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remain in his love. I have told you this, so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down his life for one's friends. Real happiness is in giving love. We can feel complete when we love and live for God. We need to have unrestrained understand God's love. Let yourself be overflowing in God's love. But you can't give love if you don't know love. So, there's a song by 10th Avenue North. You are more. You are more than every problem you create. You are more than every mistake. Because he loves us so much. It is not about what we've done, but about what he's done for us. We are so important to him. And this self-worth is important for happiness. Often, the fear that we are not good enough gets in the way of doing things that bring true joy. We all make mistakes, and sometimes they are big ones. Sometimes it is what another person says or does that makes us feel like nothing. It can really add up. And where do we turn? I write to prisoners, and many times they are surrounded in their minds by what got them there, what so many people think of them now, and just the plain evil presence of multiple people so stuck on sin, it can drag them pretty down. Yet, despite all of that, those that have God can amaze me with how they see life. They usually still struggle at times. But I have heard someone say he doesn't want to imagine where he would be if he hadn't found God. He explains himself as being so depressed that each moment was pure torture. And he was in a fight every single day, which basically only makes things worse. But who he is now is a light within some darkness, and is often asked how he can be so happy in here, thus being in prison. There is a song by Jason Gray, Remind Me Who I Am. It has the lines, I'm the one you love, that will be enough, that I belong to you. It's a good message. With our Lord, we can gain inspiration and direction. When we know not what to do, faith can help us find it. When we have been stuck in a path that brings more and more hurt, we can have hope that our Lord will guide us to where we need to go. So what is the point? Ecclesiastes 1, verse 14. I have seen all the things that are done under the sun. All of them are meaningless, a chasing after the wind. Many people that are slaves of this world feel that all is meaningless, depressive. Solomon knew that all is meaningless without God. With him, there is purpose. And even if you don't enjoy the experience, you can believe in our Lord's. I know I am not the only one here that knows how much more joy and excitement you can have when you are doing something for God. I have enjoyed other things in my life, but not in the same way. Big things in life can still feel empty without God's love as part of it. For example, a marriage without God in it has something missing, and the couple can feel that. With God in your heart, you are complete. In Colossians 2 verse 10. So you are complete through your union with Christ, who is the head over every ruler and authority. We're all broken people, but we can become complete with Christ. With Christ, we can become who we are meant to be. There is a song by Cutlass, "That's What Faith Can Do." It has the words, "I've seen dreams that move mountains, hope that doesn't ever end. Even when the sky is falling, I've seen miracles just happen. Silent prayers get answered, broken hearts become brand new. That's what faith can do." Thank you for listening, and I hope that you have gained something from this. Be blessed in Jesus.